What's up, everyone? It is your girl GELBEAUTY 87 here, aka Grace, and we got another old school versus new school. So in today's old school versus new school, we have the Unearthly Cosmetics Poison Apple palette. And then this has been discontinued, unfortunately. I know I've seen people selling the new version on Macari. I haven't seen anyone selling the old version, which is the one I have on Macari. But we're putting it against the Oden Merry Christmas palette because I know a lot of people want to get their hands on this, and unfortunately we're not able to. So I figured if we do an old school versus new school, we can see how similar this palette is to this palette, and then see if you know you can be fine knowing that you have this one even though you don't have this one. So this is what both of them look like side by side. Let me move a little bit closer up. As usual, I am going to give you the tea on the old one and talk about that one first, and then we'll get into the new one. So the Poison Apple palette is actually one of the first palettes I bought from Oden. I think I bought this one in the Strawberry Milkshake first. Those are the first two that I got from the brand. I've heard they had been out like, I think Angie said they had been out like for 2 years before I had heard about them personally. But the first palette I saw that caught my interest was this one right here. I think they had a holiday palette before this one I liked as well, but I ended up not buying it just because I wasn't too sure about the brand. But this color story and the Strawberry Milkshake that you all just saw me do a review on, well, not just saw, because I keep forgetting like this is a series for 2023 that I'm filming for, so that you all saw me do comparing it to the Strawberry Shortcake collection from Glamlight is what inspired me to start buying from this brand. But this palette right here is absolutely stunning. I feel like it definitely gives like miniature vibes of the Merry Christmas palette, which is why I brought it here and wanted to particularly do this video, because I'm like, if you already have this in your collection but you didn't get a chance to get the Merry Christmas palette, I don't want you to feel bad. And if you can find this on Macari at a reasonable price, because I know they try to mark up Unearthly Cosmetics things, I still feel like it'd be more affordable than trying to find Oden one, because I've seen the Oden one for like $125, $175, $200, crazy stuff like that. So I feel like you still be able to get this one at a better price even on the reseller market, which is why I wanted to show it in particular. Plus I just love the color story of this and love this brand's eyeshadow palettes. So we're going to use this one. And of course, the Oden Merry Christmas palette. Y'all know I love Oden palettes. I actually was one of the first black people, some of my followers at least, told me that they saw using the brand stuff and they wanted to see how it looked on brown people. That was why I bought it initially, honestly, because it's like I wanted us to see how it looked on people that looked like us. So that's what I, bought it for. And I loved the quality of the stuff, and it was like just okay back in the day, so it's like a million times better now, but I still thought they had good enough quality, and they just keep getting better and better and better. So I'm happy to have bought both of these and have them in my collection, because I have the other one as well. I already gave y'all a review on that, a battle of the during the holidays, so you wouldn't feel bad about it. So this one is just like a later on video, but it's better late than never, girl. Okay, don't be giving people $125 for this palette that costs 40 bucks. Sorry, costs 45 bucks. Anyway, this is what the color story looks like. I like this color story. I feel like you can use this all year long, because you got to think like Poison Apple is something you can use all year long, even though it has like holiday colors to it. So I thought it was cool that this has holiday colors to it that I can still use throughout the year with some of the pops they put in there, like the orange and the pink. I feel like it's what helps you use it more throughout the year, along with this unique gray shade here. And just these are tones that I would use normally throughout the year anyway, like not necessarily red and like green, but I would use like the red and pink maybe, or the red, green, and the orange. So it's like I would still use some combinations of these things. It just might throw some people off with the Christmas packaging, but I feel like the color story doesn't have to necessarily be Christmas. And I've heard other YouTubers say the same thing, which I, as you see, totally agree. But we're gonna put this alongside the Poison Apple palette. So what I'm gonna do is zoom in real quick and cute like. As usual, y'all know we're gonna do the Poison Apple off camera, since you can't get this one anymore. I mean, I know you can't get the Oden one either, but I figured you'd like to see how that one performs on the eye as opposed to this one, because I think I already have a video dedicated to this one. I think I use this and the Strawberry Milkshake in the same video, since I got them at the same time. And then we'll do the Oden on camera, since it's like the newer one, and you can see how Oden shadows perform, because I don't know if you've seen my older Oden videos or not, because I don't think I have a playlist of Oden, but I do have quite a few videos of Oden palettes. So we're gonna go off camera and get that handle, so it'll be swatches of, what is it, Unearthly, then Oden, Unearthly, then Oden, and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna go off camera and get my life in order. I actually have a old school versus new school on my eyes right now. Can you tell which palette is which? I used ColourPop Good Sport against the Ambiance palette from Ace Beauty, and I feel like it's quite an amazing dupe considering they don't make Good Sport anymore. So I was so happy to have found the dupe. I'm actually putting in a couple of more videos just because I'm so excited and want to talk about it some more. But I'm gonna go off camera, get my life in order, and we're gonna do this video right here, right now. Okay, girl? Okay. Okay, y'all. So this is the eye I got with the Poison Apple palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. Now we're gonna go into the Merry Christmas palette, and I'm going to take this shade right here into the crease. This is our outer V shade. This is our inner corner shade. This one is our lid shade. I think that's pretty much it from this palette. I didn't grab a whole bunch of stuff. I tried to give a somewhat Christmassy look since, you know, it is supposed to be a Christmas palette, but you know, I still wanted to give somewhat of an everyday look too, because I feel like you could still wear this every day and it would look okay. So now do keep in mind that this is a black. It is not like a, you know, dark green like the other one. I was thinking about blending in like the green just to see if we could get it to be more of a like dirty martini olive-ish type green, because I feel like mixing the green in with this black, I might be able to do it. So I'm thinking I might do it. We'll see. We're gonna start with the black first just because, you know, I gotta start with the shade and then we'll try to lighten it up after that. So we'll see how that goes. And for right now, I'm just trying to get the black shade on. It's pretty black. Pretty impressed with it. But, you know, some blacks are giving that ashy grayish charcoal look. I feel like this one is more on the true black side instead of like a charcoal black grayish looking shade, which I appreciate because, you know, when I see a black, I want it to be actually black, not a grayish black. Because it's like if you're gonna put a grayish black in here, how would you just put a gray in here? So that's looking good. Okay, now let's dip into the green and see if we can make it a little bit more of the greenish tone that the other one is. I still don't feel like they're gonna be exact, but I feel like, you know, I want to try to pull some green in since it's, you know, giving mainly green. Okay, so I feel like the green is just disappearing into the black. Just not, well, let's give it a little bit of green still. Like giving the green I was hoping for. Maybe because I put more black than I put green. But yeah, it's still giving somewhat green. So you can make it a greenish shade. It's just not going to be as deep as the green I have. I feel like this is more of like a evergreenish green as opposed to like the more olivey tone green. So maybe if I put the lighter olive green shade on, it'll give more of this tone. But I feel like it's close enough to where, you know, you can tell that it's got some green going on in it. And I just wanted to be able to see if we could, when we added the green, you could tell that there was some green going on, and you can. So that works for me. Now I'm going to go into a little, I'm going to hot cocoa, which is this orangish, sorry, not orangish, burgundy-ish, I guess brownish red shade. I feel like it's a little bit more red than it is giving brown, but I feel like it's actually matching up quite well with the shade. I feel like it just has a tad bit more burgundy red to it than the one from the Poison Apple palette from Unearthly Cosmetics, which oddly enough, like on their website while I'm filming this, like it's not like Poison Apple, if I remember correctly, was discontinued anyway. So I was just doing this for the people who have Poison Apple, so you don't have to feel bad about not having the Merry Christmas palette if you didn't end up getting your hands on it. But I'm feeling like the colors pulling from the change. But what I was saying about Unearthly Cosmetics is there's like no palettes on their page right now besides like the 2 holiday palettes, and that's it. So I'm like, that's interesting because it's like they came up with a lot of palettes this year, and then like now on their website there's no palettes besides the holiday palettes. Because I'm filming this in 2022, even though you're gonna see it in 2023. But you know, I'm just like, I find that interesting. So I'm like, Anyway, we're gonna cut the crease with the glitter glue. Y'all know the drill. I gotta follow the shape here and put some toward the back right here, real quick and cute like. So it's looking real cute right there. There we go. Now I'm gonna put the shimmer shade on the lid. So where's my brush? Okay. Now keep in mind this one is much sheerer than the shade that is on this side, so it's not going to give the pigmentation it's given. I was thinking about putting one shade on and then put another shade on top of it, which I might go ahead and do. And I'm thinking about it. So with this one, I have to do a lot of mixing to get like similar tones. Because in the pan, it looks similar to the other one, but when I actually swatched it out, it had more of a blue undertone to it instead of, you know, the undertone that matches it. And both of these are still going to be glitterier than the Unearthly Cosmetics side. Her shimmers that I use in this look are more metallic. As you can see, these are definitely more of the glittery, sparkly type ones. So this one does give more pigmentation than the initial one I was going to use though. So I guess it's good I use this one. I'm going to pop the other one on top of it though, because it's like we're not going to be wasting product. Especially with this limited edition palette, girl. I can't be wasting product now. Can't be doing that. So you're just about to get 2 shimmers on the lid. And be extra sparkly and glittery for the Lord today. Thank you. But as you can see, they look pretty similar on the lid. I'm going with the other shade now. I initially started off with, so I had to use a different brush. So I'll just put that toward the back of the eye. Back here. And kind of dust it toward the middle of the eye, like so. So we can start at the back and just kind of dust it in the middle here real quick and cute like. So that's what we're working with this. And as you can see, we're getting much more sparkle and glitter and everything on this eye than we are on the other one. I'm going to just dust over with the whatever's already on the brush just to illuminate some of the glitter and, you know, blend it in. I'm going to tap into the green just a tad bit more. I mean, just like the slightest bit, tad bit more. Just bring a little bit more green back into it, because yeah, that's looking good. Okay, it's looking good. Let's dust underneath here again. And dust all around. Now, we're going to get into the pink. So, pink inner corner. We're going to do that. So, here we go. It's the shade that matches closest with the one in the Poison Apple palette. And as you see, it's not super close because this has a blue purplish reflect even though it's pink. Whereas this one has a more reddish, pinkish, goldish reflex to them. So as you can see, they're not exactly the same. I didn't expect them to be exactly the same. Again, I do these for similarities for you all. I don't expect all of them to be exact, so you should neither. Anyways, back it on up and talk about my thoughts on both of these palettes. So both the formulas are amazing. As usual, I like each palette for different reasons, but I like to show you that there are different finishes and stuff that goes along with the palettes, just because when you look at it on site, it looks really similar. Doesn't mean it's exactly similar. That's another reason I like to do a lot of these battle of thes and old school versus new school and my top 10 favorite palettes from, so you can see the differences and variations and stuff that I have in my collection, and the reason why I have so much in my collection, to be able to show you these types of things. Back to these palettes. So needless to say, I like the Merry Christmas palette just a little bit better than the Unearthly Cosmetics one. I like the glittery sparkliness of this one. I like all the dual chrome shimmers to it. It's not that the dual chrome shimmer in this one isn't nice, and there's a really nice wet looking one that actually would look really nice. Matter of fact, I have it swatched on my hand. This is from the Unearthly Cosmetics palette. I was trying to compare it to this shade right here. So as you can see, they both look really nice and they have wet and reflective. So they have different tones and different textures and all that. I like that about both palettes. I just like the Oden's Eye one a little bit better. I like the color story curation a little bit more, because since I have a few more colors, I can do a little bit more of a variety look. I feel like with the Poison Apple one, it's like either a green red look or an all green look or a red and yellow look. So I feel like there's not much variety as there is in here, because like you can do everyday look, you can do like a nice little neutral look on the bottom part, or you can do a nice green look on the top, or you can mix, like there's like little quads you can use in each part of the palette. So what I like about this palette is I feel like it's more variety, but since there's more shades, of course there's going to be more variety than a 9-pan palette. Not to say that the Unearthly one doesn't have a lot of variety. It does. It's just I feel like the Oden's Eye has a little bit more, and I like a lot of the different shimmers and finishes that they added to the palette because it gave me more shades. So I say the New School palette won. And those are my thoughts, but it doesn't mean the Poison Apple is bad. It's just, I feel like the formula in the Oden's Eye one is just a little bit better, that's all. But you can comment down below and tell me which eye you like. Remember, this is Poison Apple and this is Merry Christmas. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.